Kenneth Bird, I got to go down and get myself a pillow. Like, I got to get myself a pillow with some cotton I can get out of it, because apparently it is just hard to get raw cotton. Just cotton we need to finish the other light system on that side. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens. Has infusion light energy gain. And, this fan over here. We are on our screen we call our ILEG, and this is the Ultimate Black Cinematic. Seeing some of the demonstrations on this thing is absolutely insane. So this screen can do some crazy stuff. It's submersible. It has, I'm sorry, that's not submersible, the other one's a submersible. And it's fully weatherproof, ultra short though compatible, can take in a ton of ambient light, and next to a white screen can't even pick up an image next to this thing. I mean, it is incredible what this thing does. This is my finished screen I'm going to have on display. I'm going to be taking some pictures of this and display it. So my screen has around 12,000, let me say 6,000 per piece for each one. But yeah, it's quite a bright screen. Let me get something over here real quick and make sure the background looks quite nicely. Hello, Mr. Taco. Taco says hello. Where the freak is my, Heck, no, I just had it. Like, how do we move stuff this quick? So we're getting ready to get this order out the door. Customer is overseas. This is the overseas order, the one that came for around $1,000. That was an overseas customer. They paid for the shipping. They paid for everything. They had to go buy, I had to ask them how much, matter of fact, I got how much they paid for it. Which I'm curious now, because we might just go through that shipping carrier instead. I'm not going to have a receipt and see how much they paid for it. I'm curious what that would cost. I might have a conversation with them, like, because that's out, it's a distance. What it would cost. Anyway, we're working on it. We're working on it. All right, let me see. Try to get my area organized in here a little bit. And that is our new screen hooked up to our PC, of course. With the bigger screen coming in next. Not bigger screen, but bigger. This is using the long throw, extended throw lens. I want to bring in a full lens, standard lens, which I have over there. I just have to go in and basically put the new lamp in it, and boom, that's it. My standard will fill this whole thing out with no problem. Like you see, it doesn't affect the screen. It's still in the darkening because we got the overheads over here on this side, but we don't have the 12,000 on that side. So these are the pictures we're going to be updating on the site. Right now, I'm waiting for the LED lights for that little pocket area right there, and that one over there, because I want to convert all these to thunderclouds. Man. I have to expand the screen like a little bit over, because didn't we just do this one every at 235? Oh, we did do a 235.1. We already built one. We got a projector coming that does 235.1. And on this side, we're going to do a panel system, which is going to be see-through. I want one of those see-through screens, the ones that LG shows off. I'm building me a big one. It's going to be 4 panels at 36 by 72, so it's big. Going to my buddy's shop, code them down, bring them in here, and assemble them in. We have to build a bracket system to fit them all in, because I want a completely invisible screen. But I want it box-like. I want it so I can get over top of it and look right down into it. Because I got some ideas I'm going to be hooking up on the inside of that box system. There's projectors installing into the box system. So you can do cross lights, which means cross projection. To cross projection, if you have a projection screen that's projecting here, and you got one crossing here, it doesn't interfere with the picture quality in any way whatsoever. Some people think that you would have like intertwining or cross-contamination of images. It doesn't work that way. It's just light, that's all it is. So we can literally, when we build our setup, we can actually set projectors here and here, so we can produce images on the top, and we can push images this way. It doesn't make a difference, it's not going to affect it. Alright, let me put tape up there for my screen. So I go expand my screen all the way over, my white background, so we can do the demonstration on this. There's the pretty colors popping up. 100% infinity contrast levels. This one a little closer. Oh, they got some. Finally, we can get some real dark contrast levels with high white levels. This is kind of stuff I was looking for. God is good. This would be fantastic in our demonstrations. Now each one of the LED lights, I said, are around 6K. Very bright, cold fusion white lights is the highest you can get. Actually, I've seen 10,000. Go over 10,000. If you got 2 sections in, which makes that's 12. Usually the ones they have, most people like to use are the brown ones, the warm. The warm ones are the ones that don't give off much light. I mean, they're bright, but they're really not bright as the ones we have here. Loving my setup. Just got to go down and get some more cotton. Certainly a pillowcase. Because pillowcases, when we rip them open, the pillows, there's cotton inside. So put them over there. Put my another thunderstorm system in there. And then put my last one on there. Yeah, they absorb that much light. So my lighting system over top, if you don't know, is 24,000. Each one of the rods I have for each pod to these is 3,000 for each rod. Each one of these are around 12. So it's 4 in each one. So we got 4, 2 on this side, 2 on that side, makes 12,000. And then the ones over here over top of us is another additional 12,000. Plus the 6,000 we have for the top and 6,000 for the bottom. That's literally how much light this screen is actually absorbing. On a projector is at 2,500 lumens, eco mode. So, since we do have still more chatter, this is where we begin to match the flex challenges, where we're going to challenge other screens to do the exact same thing we're doing. Where's the original from? I know I had to hear somewhere. I think I can do this matching betters. I love to do matching betters demonstrations, you know. And buddy was checking out the batch room. He said, good gracious, that is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Take a white surface, coat the middle of it, have the projector hit it, dry in front of you, image pulls up, paint over the entire surface, have the image pull up. Yeah, these things to beat the crap out of a white screen. And that's the screen we really have to deal with at the end of the day, because that's the one we're going to run into the most. We're not going to run into gray and certifieds out here. It's going to be mostly all white screens. How many certified screens you got to run into for outside? None. None at all. Not one. You're not going to find any certified screen outside. Unless somebody got a yard master out there, but mostly it's going to be an all white generic screen you're going to see out there. So imagine what that technology does outside. And here's really nothing. Alright, let me see what we need from the door. I'm looking for something here. Need, and I cannot find. I don't even have 2 of these. I can't find one. Excuse my life. 2 of them. Can't even find one of them. Alright. Man, that crazy game today. Where's the other one at? I can't find it. Should be here somewhere. Packed up, shipped, and left. On top of this is yours. I have to just back to where it goes there. That's definitely yours. Oh, man, I can pick up every time. Let's give an idea how much light pushes off the screen. And if you notice in the demonstrations where we're testing this thing out, we never put a halo system on it. We like to say that for fun. Because you know the screen's in exert, it's 24,000. I had no idea we had that much light in here. Until I looked it up, I was like, wait a minute, these fluorescent lights are pretty bright. What are these things at the end of the day? How much is it for each one of these rods in here? That's not how much light this thing was kicking out. I was like, good gracious. That's a lot of freaking light. A lot of it light. 24,000. The average office is 500 to 600. That's the average office, is 500 to 600. The only way you're going to get that kind of lighting here, unless you go in old school offices from back in the day. That's what this place is. This is an older office. So it had that lighting. The new ones would have the LED lights in there, ceiling condensed lighting, stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of the condensed lighting. It's like I can redirect the light where I want it to go. If it's tucked up in the ceiling somewhere, it's being it's controlled. Because there's a giant lampshade around it. It's metal shade around it. As you can switch those lights where you want them to go. But other than that, if you pull the light sideways, you got this huge, massive cone in your way that's blocking the natural light from hitting where it needs to hit. That's why like the cones, like the ones that are already out in the open, you can see them. You can shift them where you want them to go. I prefer to use those instead. Found it. She was way in the back. Always tucked away somewhere way in the back. All right. This is my giant screen. Guess what this was built out of? Fiberglass and cardboard. That's it. Fiberglass and cardboard. No calibration. Not even needed. No 4K projector. Not even needed. We're at 720p projector, WXGA. Price of my projector, $60. Got another one sitting up for I paid $50 for it. That's it. Now, I'm doing some lights on demonstration because lights off because I got requests. And people saying, can you just do a couple demonstrations with the lights out? You do a lot of demonstrations with lights on. So, as you can look at. Now this screen already lined up. I had to wait to get the batch number done. With the batch number computer, I had to get those orders ready to go. And later on, you come back in and do this demonstration. I was at 18? Wow. Let me cook what's going. These are the pictures we're going to replace on the site.
Not really big into committing to things. I usually stop after the show halfway through the first episode. Remember when my hair was blonde?
So they're saying, well, you know, yeah, that screen has 12K of lights in it right now. They're inside the frame. I'd rather have them there. Most people put those lights behind the back of the screen. There's no point in that. Now, all products are batch number guaranteed, which means we test the product before shipping out. We also are having tested where we, for the product being tested before we can actually sell it. As I said before, you should not be calibrating your projector. You should not be having choice where you have to be stuck in a dark environment and fear your screen's going to wash out. This should never cross your mind, ever. It's automatic to turn your projector off, the lights out in your environment. This screen failed. This screen completely failed. I don't like saying that let's have my lights on. It sounds like I'm a hypocrite. That's why I do it. So I'm very hard on myself at the end of the day. My stuff has to work. I can't be making up excuses. I gotta live with that myself. I gotta tell myself, well, you know, we're just telling you gotta be in an ambient light controlled environment. That means I gotta be in an ambient light controlled environment. That's not gonna work. Anything that someone tells you what you have to do, they gotta do it too. So they gotta spend the money for expensive projectors. You're going to spend the money for expensive projectors. They got to be stuck in the dark. You're going to be stuck in the dark. If you got to calibrate because the colors can't read correctly, you're going to calibrate. I've seen in some demonstrations people post some calibration is needed. No, you shouldn't be calibrating your projector. You spent that much money for a machine that has that color capability and you're calibrating this? That's sad. And then, you know, if that's the case, don't bother buying a projector with that many colors. You'll never get a chance to use them. That's just a waste of time. Why spend the money for a projector with 1.7 billion colors if you can't even use 1.7 billion colors to begin with? You got to calibrate. Save your money. I spend lower. Had to calibrate. That's funny. I go to porn sites all the time where they calibrate the machines. That's some tutorials in there about calibrating your machine. Why you have to do this, why you have to do that. What if you're a customer at the end of the day who doesn't want to calibrate? So you don't want to calibrate your setup. You don't need to bother with all that nonsense. And they're telling you that your picture quality is going to suffer if you don't. That means you're forced to do it. That's why we go in this room to people with calibrated setups. We just sit there and just laugh like, wow. You went through all that. What? And you still didn't get the color right. Still didn't get black. That didn't come up. You didn't get that. So you're telling me you have 100% contrast after calibrating? Turn the lights on. Why were the lights off? Or we had the lights off because they give it a more movie experience. Oh, come on. Don't give me that light at the end of the day. Come on. Turn your lights on. That line only lasts for so long. You watch TV, you watch sport. How about you watch sports? I'm in Spanish right now. You watch sports. You treat it like a movie theater environment. You watch TV. Treat it like a movie theater environment. Play video games. Treat it like a movie theater environment, and so on and so on. That's an excuse. Because you know your screen will perform better in the dark. So you advise your customers to be in the dark. Tell them it's a normal. because projection screens are too lazy to do their work and have the screen to operate in full environments. Everybody keeps doing the same thing as being in the dark because that's tradition. Well, traditions were meant to be broken. I'm breaking this one. You're going to see more and more of these demonstrations of this giant screen and fully lit environments to the very place we can put it at. Educating the customers that you don't need to do that and you don't have to do that. And of course, this is going to ruffle feathers. Because they're telling you one thing and we're telling you another thing. But the difference between us is we're showing you can do it. Anytime I bring my $10 projector into a room, is why we have that projector, is to show them that we don't have to spend all this money. Wow. $30,000 versus their $10 projector. And a $10 projector can read contrast better than your $30,000 machine. So mine is, what you pay for, Jack? What'd you get? I got a JVC. It's got 50 million to 1 contrast. Turn your lights on. Let's see, black screen, solid. Turn your lights on. Well, you know, these projectors were used for, like, you know, they're moved for that movie theater. I didn't ask you all that question. It's a simple question. Turn the lights on. Show me what that projector does with all that power. And it just disappeared. Alright, reality check. You pay a lot of money for something you'll never use. Light screen. Light surface. Anything. It always is. Look up there. It reads absolutely nothing. If you have to be in the dark to beat that white screen, you failed. But the question I have is, if I buy your product, you guarantee that I never have to calibrate. No expensive projectors, no high-powered inky contrast levels. I can operate in this environment with no problem whatsoever, and I can read a 100% black level. Can you promise me that? This is the best place I had in a while. One best way. I've never gotten sick. I'll make food. I need the kind of homemade food. Oh, it's the food system. Okay, so. Wash it up. Lights out. Lights out. Halo system intact. Let's go with the red screen. That's the impact of our product next to a red screen in the dark. Well, it's not technically in the dark with the halo system up there, but it's still the same thing. Blue screen. Who fades out the fastest? Actually, do a lot of dark environments. We'll finish this off later. Let's try yellow screen. Yellow screen. I'll tell you something, this van, when you crack open that doorway, because they got the air conditioner out there, they haven't switched them on here yet, but put that little fan in there, man, this place is cold quick. That's a mighty little fan. That Air Force is no joke. Oh, let's get that yellow one there. Yep. With bright colors, our screen's 100% black, so we can read all those bright colors. Let's go in there. Let's get a neon pink screen. Pink screen. What's the screen? Let me give us the colors. No. I want a neon pink screen. Neon pink screen. There we go. So I already showed you the white screen. In the dark, there's a massive difference between our product and your everyday white screen. There's nice, big, beautiful colors right back in. Saw that, right? Yeah. Go off topic here. Walked into a Home Depot with our product. How to make our stuff. That's when we use against my court. This is company. We're looking around that one. I told you got a whole lot of stuff on it. We did warn y'all though. We warned y'all a lot. Y'all never listen. Didn't listen at all. Try to make our product. He's been obsessed with our company since the day he first walked into my YouTube channel and tried to figure out how my product was made. I told him no. Ever since then, he's been obsessed with our company. That little logo sitting on there, the copyright sitting on it. We can show it in the day that not only did he use our copyrights without permission, but he was trying to make our products. That's too strong. That's way too strong. What's this? Mango and vanilla? Oh yeah, I can see why. Ooh, that's a different kind of soda. I tried something different. It's good, but man, it's strong. It makes your throat freaking throb a little bit. Oh, it is good though. Anyway, yeah. Well, making all those false statements that we're obsessed with his products and stuff. Why would I be obsessed with your stuff? Your stuff doesn't do anything. That's why I was gonna make some video right now talking about how to make our product. I see you pulled that video quick, right? But too late. Way too late. We recorded and documented it already. If we had documented it already, it means there's a letter coming to you. Friend and visitor, he's got letters coming. You see, he changed his YouTube channel to 3D Adventure. Somebody changed it to. And he pulled out a lot of the videos. That's not going to save your product. You got too much stuff documented on you. You know how old that video is? You got videos that go back from 6-7 years. Those videos are past the timeline of statute of limitations, but they can be used against the court to paint a picture of what kind of person you are. That's what they're used for. We got enough up-to-date stuff. We're good. That's why I went and changed the channel. We gotta get rid of some of the stuff. You can't get me. Oh, we can. We can. Everybody got a chance to see you try to steal my company's product. I walk into a Home Depot and asking people if it had this and that into it. And he still didn't make it right. So, to the individual, when those letters get there, keep in mind, we don't receive what we're supposed to read back in 3 days. Process server will be hitting that property soon. And they will be contacting that attorney at all costs. And if I got to hire a private investigator, I'm going to find that landlord. So, Cause and effect, my friend. Cause and effect. You're gonna pay me $135,000 for posting my face without my permission. Got paid that? Okay. Well, what else I want to show my nice, beautiful screen? Let's see. Oh, we got lights on too. Amazing. This is very important. You have to have lights on to do these things. When people do them in the dark, in the problem, they do them in the dark, they do them on standalone. You don't know what the heck you're getting. Get a paint. Coming in, your colors will wash clean out like, oh, crap. Now you gotta be in the dark and figure out if you don't have to spend more money for your projector to fix the nuisance. Because that's what it's going to become, a nuisance to you. Slow color changer. I'm doing these demonstrations in dark and brown. I'm like, look, I can pick up the image. Can you please turn the lights on? And then you're going to write down, some people put down, they try to describe ambient light rejection. They put down it works in some environments. That right there is just saying at the end of the day, you don't work at all, period. That's what you're just stating, you don't work. That you're better off being using it is recommended for a darker environment, ambient controlled environment. Again, your stuff don't work. Can't put, that's why the guy we're talking about ambient light rejection alone by itself has been watered down to nothing, to have no meaning or standard next to it, because people are doing the birthday candle effect. They put a couple of candles in the corner, a little bit of light here and there, and they go, oh, look, we're picking up an image in a fully lit environment. That's not fully lit. This would be fully lit. You know, when I was doing demonstrations with the lights clamped all around the screen, light constantly pushing to the screen, we had people complaining, oh, it's just over excessive lighting. No, it's not. What your screen should be doing. That's why you can't work in commercial. We're in commercial right now. You can't work in here. Your stuff will not function in this environment. And the first thing you have to read is the Starfield. We're just going to skip the entire Starfield demonstration. We'll just skip it all. We'll skip the dark colors. We'll just keep it to the bright colors and white colors. That's the only thing you're going to see. Yeah, right. That's not going to work. That was a good soda. I'm not drinking another one. That was ever. Not ever, but not for a while. I'm not a big fan of drinking soda. I think I drink out of it. If I got bubbles in my stomach from that sandwich I had, yeah. Other than that, no. I need every day. I don't favor some juice, some water, or something. No, not yet. Not until I finish up, buddy boy. The door open so air can push in because we got the big boy projectors in here. And these suckers accumulate heat. "4K snow screensavers." Excuse me. Our personal favorites to do.
Perfecting your swing is hard.
Nice shot, Dad.
Oh, you're right. If I had done that number around my pop, I'd have lost my head. And then we get people saying, boy, the colors on the white should be brighter. And no, this is the level for the white levels. Because if it didn't have white levels, you wouldn't be able to read any color at all. It would be virtually impossible to be done. And it's the fact that this screen is absorbing 10 times light than the average screen. And the fact that it's able to still maintain is quite incredible. Or if I take your gray screen in here and I stick it in here, it doesn't exist in its environment at all, period. It can't read color, contrast, or nothing. And even in the dark, the screen can take it out with no problem. So you won't survive in here at all. No matter what caliber projector we use, you can't run next to these screens. White screen, well, that's no contest whatsoever. Gunmetal, you see what we did to a gunmetal screen, so that tells you right there from the door. High grade, certified gunmetal technology. It's the reason why they've been locking down the little storefronts to make sure we can't get access to samples. I already know about that stuff already. Because it was very easy for me to get access to samples. Now, no, they're $300. A certain sample package will cost you $300. That's to keep certain people away from them. They don't get that kind of, what they call, threat from a everyday grade paint. Because I showed you what one of these screens will do to an everyday grade paint. It'll dog it out, no problem. Keep it all the time. There we go. That's why the first time I do a demonstration, the color demonstrations, we did white levels first. Everybody in the room sat there and go, oh, because their screens for a higher white level, they were going to pick up color. No, you can't read color. You have to have a contrast over to read color. You need both of them, contrast and color, to pick it up. That's why we do the demonstration at 1000. We show you the demonstration when we have black paint, a white surface, and our technology. You need both in order to read the color. The black surface can't read it because it can't read a high enough white level, and therefore the screen comes out too dirty, where the white screen doesn't have contrast and the screen washes out. You have to have the perfect balance to be able to connect on that. And you have to have tests showing you can do this inside and out, and now commercial, because we do our commercial now. So anything we do, you're going to have to do. If we're doing stuff like this, you're going to have to do it. If you're claiming to be in our class, that's what you're going to have to do. Come out there and say, hey, I'm the heavyweight boxer of the world. You never fought anybody. How would that even work? You got to show a track record of how many fighters you took out to reach that top. You got to earn that. You just don't make no paint at the end of the day and say, whoa, it's his. Yeah, where's my test? That's black paint landing on our screen. That one doesn't have a coating on it. Other one doesn't. They have them. Gotta do tests like this. And you'll do it with the halo system. If we do it with a halo, you see you're us, you gotta do it. Same thing, even Steve, right? That's where it should be. Now when I do this, you notice I don't talk a lot to the customers. I don't. Customers already can see what we're doing. They're impressed by it. We talk straight to those who are supposed to be making better products. Look, I'm going to explain something to you from the door. If you're selling gray paint in the day, your stuff will get ripped up badly. Certified screens will take your stuff apart. But the only argument you have against certifieds is we don't cost that much money. We're much cheaper. So it's a white screen too. You get what you pay for. It's a much cheaper screen. You can't even read 100% contrast. Any screens that don't read 100% contrast, the closer you come to the darker the contrast level, the more expensive the screen. But since gunmetals read much higher contrast levels, darker shades of gray, they cost more money. The screens that read less cost way less money. They call those budgets. Here comes a budget screen. We still get that shot in there. No matter where that lands at, it still can't read. It doesn't make a difference. So what are you going to accept when it comes to your screen? Are you going to accept all of it or none of it? Are you going to accept that your screen reads a poor contrast level, poor color, and you're stuck in a dark environment? That's where you're at right now with a projector you just paid a lot of money for? Or you can come out and play with the rest of us. I actually see 100% black level. You know what black level looks like on the screen at 100% is absolutely breathtaking. It's like when people get knockoff projectors. I needed these projectors for many years, and one day they go by a real projector and they go, wow, look at the big change. Big change. Way bigger. Imagine your color, have your projector all these years, and you finally get a chance to see what it's supposed to really look like. Red screen. Red screen. There you go. Remember I told you about the whole thing about how the white screen can't read because the contrast levels aren't there, and how the black screen can't read, or the black paint can't read, due to the fact that the white levels are not there. You need both colors to see it. Proper 100% red screen. Gray screen can't read it. Why? No contrast. You don't have a 1% black level, so they can't read it. Another problem they have, they can't read high snow levels. Did you know why? The screen's not white. Gray screen's in limbo, to tell you the truth, honestly. They can't read the black levels. They can't read the white levels, so they're just there. Let's try yellow again. Yellow screen. With a neon fuchsia screen. Not quite right, is it? We don't technology can read that color. Yeah. I do these every time I come on camera. Every single time we do one of these. And you should be able to do that every single time in a fully lit, maxed out environment without darkening the environment. Every single time. If I were to mark how many times I have done this demonstration with those right now, you would never be able to catch up to where we stand on this. Not even close to our black on black demonstration, which you're supposed to have this demonstration. I believe it's very important. This demonstration. How would you get there? Let's see here. Let's do something interesting. I'm going to take this down. What I'm going to do that's gray screen. And it's your typical gray screen right there. Blue screen. Doesn't read. Blue is one of the hardest colors to read. Blue and black. That's why you see people do demonstrations to the ocean and all that, because they're harder colors to pick up. Blue is very hard to pick up on a projector, especially with a ton of light in the environment. Very hard to do. So, if I'm going to buy a screen to paint my screens in here, to do my office, how would the gray screen help me? Red screen. Let's try that one again. Red screen. Problem you have with these mixes is the fact that if you make it too dark, then you run the risk of your white levels dropping, which we showed you next to the certified screen, a dark gray paint charcoal doesn't pass next to a certified grayscale, it won't work. So you make your white levels, you make it too dark, and your white levels will suffer. And your screen will become dirty and dark. If you make your contrast levels lower, so your white levels are higher, then your contrast suffers. That means you can't pick up color, you're not ambient light projection, and your screen will wash out anytime any light strikes it, even in the dark. So where do you go? Ain't nowhere really to go. And if you try to develop a black technology, well, you can't get the gray white levels right. What makes you think you can get a black technology right? You can't get nowhere to go either there, because black technology takes a ton of testing. You would have to have a lot of testing to show that it actually works, like we're doing right now. Nobody will touch you. One buy frame. So you're stuck in the land of nowhere. Absolutely, completely nowhere. So you should have been taking your time and working on your craft to develop darker technology to read higher white levels and instead do stuff with that. And that's where you're at. But there's no crossroads here, it's just one road, it's a dead end. Let's see the advancement. We got our colors here. Let's go over to sky blue screensaver. A nice, pretty, bright color. Let's swing sky blue. Sky blue here. We got a little bit of green. Let's do this green first and go through some of this. Green, which is going to show up a little bit better. But again, it's not 100% green. As you can see, it's more like a lime green. We have green. We didn't request lime green. This would be lime green. Lime green screen. Okay, again, we gotta put that as in lime green screen neon screensaver. And we'll just get basically the screen design for special effects. Still not picking the green up. Still coming up light green. It's supposed to be dark green. Watch this. Dark green. There's dark green right there. It's not even going to read. I can see that from there. It's not going to read. But these are dark colors. You got to be able to read those dark colors. So out of the 1.7 billion, 2.7 billion, 3.7 billion, whatever you got at the end of the day, you're going to have dark colors, because it can't be all light colors, that's virtually impossible. You got to have different form shades of colors. You have dark blues and dark reds and greens, dark colors, light colors, whole 9 yards, in contrast. I'm not picking that up. That's not going to happen. Let's get a dark blue in there. Dark blue. Dark blue, dark blue. Let's see. There we go. Dark blue. Okay. So those colors are reading at all, period. Let's try some wild ones. Orange screen. Orange screen here. Can't see it. Orange. Not faded orange, actual orange. Whew. I've been through this with testing someone's paint. I don't have to go through all this and shit. Forget it. Let's see. Starfield screensaver. Oh, you get. That's not what I asked for. Starfield screensaver. Microphone's like right next to me. How is that even possible to get that mixed up? And therefore you cannot read the Infinity One. The most important thing to take away, if you make great screens, you cannot read that Infinity One. I don't care what you pay for your projector, I don't care how dark you make your environment, it doesn't make a difference. You cannot pick it up, you cannot read it. If you can't read that Infinity One, your screen is useless. Absolutely useless. You're convincing me watching a Star Wars movie that Darth Vader's armor is dark gray. No, it's not. It's black. 4K snow screensavers. No, you're not turning my screen dark and unwatchable. No, what the freaking hell. I find these part of the demonstrations are boring because we don't have no challenge in it whatsoever. That's why fall asleep is boring. There's no challenge in there. Give me a challenge. Until then, we get this to do it. Gray screen that cannot pick out a white level to beat our screen. You would think it would be able to do that. It's lighter than my screen. But it can't. You know why? Because we have that AG47 technology sitting on the screen. Bam! See how light my screen is to the screen? Man, if any of you are going to court for this right here, you're in a lot of trouble. You're in so much trouble, it's not even funny. You gotta go to court for some people that you mentioned that your great products can produce a higher, make our screens look unwatchable. It's gonna cost you so much money. It's sad how much money it's gonna cost these people. And it's gonna be very expensive for them. Do you have any idea how bad that's gonna be in a courtroom to me to do this? That's gonna cost you so much money. Why would you do something that stupid? And the judge is sitting there like, why? Why would you do something that stupid? Look at that. Oh yeah. Well, hope you got that money because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need to pay us. My lawyers are not cheap, by the way, and the court costs and everything is gonna be very expensive. So, I got only themselves to blame for that dumb nonsense. Who told you to go into your place and do a demonstration on a technology that has mountains of tests sitting on top of it? Which again, this is going to show the judge how much testing we did on our products compared to, whatever. Why would you, what would possess you to do something like that? I'm going to tell you what I see. They put their heads down, that's what they do. The minute that pops up, they automatically put their heads on. The judge sees the guilt. Put your head down. And then for the next thing to ask, the lawyer's going to ask, and they approach the bench because now they're trying to work out a plea deal. They know they lost. They're done. We don't want a plea deal. You talked all that nonsense on YouTube. You carried on and acting up. We gave you multiple opportunities. This is not about basically giving you a plea deal. We walk into a courtroom. It's about cleaning your freaking clock at the end of the day. When you walk out of that courtroom, you're going out broke. A poor man when we get done with you. We gave you plenty of opportunities to back it down, and you did not take it. Anybody else want to take a chance on that? I'll destroy your lives in a hot second. That in the courtroom, you're done. Your lawyer's definitely going to walk over to us and ask for a plea deal. No, we don't want anything. We want maximum. We want everything. Are you stupid? At the end of the day, you have any idea what those screens are designed to do. Depends on how we feel in that courtroom. If you haven't done anything really stupid, then we'll just take money out of your paycheck. You would just pay us that way. And it's better at least at the end of the day. You can keep your property, keep your house, keep your car, keep everything intact. I'd work with you. But if you do a whole bunch of dumb stuff like these idiots at the end of the day, we are going to destroy you in that courtroom. And that's what's going to happen to these guys. They're going to get ripped up in there. Anybody else care to make any fake demonstrations about this product so we can take your stuff from you? You worked hard all your life to build and to get the things that you earned in life. How fast do you want them taken from you? I got lawyers that come in and see these demonstrations at the end of the day, and they're like, oh my goodness, these people are going to get me a boat. Listen, open the shut case. Your destruction at the end of the day. And it's interesting when you make these statements at the end of the day. The first people say at the end of the day, they're this, that, and the other. No, we back our products up. Just don't ring your mouth and say things you can't say at the end of the day. You go to a bar, you ring your mouth about somebody at the end of the day. You know what's going to happen? Someone's going to come back to that bar and check you on that. Consequences. Don't do things that will get your life wrecked. That's it. Simple and plain. I try to work out plea deals with people all the time. I do. I give them the opportunity. If there's nothing really there for us to really care about court, we'll send you a little document out, tell you remove stuff, take it down, and after that, that's the end of it. Don't let it happen again. Go about your business, be happy. But if you're one of those people like these guys in the day who prove that you're big and bad in the day, you will lose everything in court and we'll take it all from you. I don't care if you have kids, I don't care what you have to pay for, it's consequences in life. Don't do dumb stuff. Don't ever get in your head that you think at the end of the day that Mr. Bird is a fake YouTuber that you're going to get over on and you can do whatever you want. You will find out the hard way. That is going to be the biggest mistake you will ever make in your entire life if I walk into a courtroom with you. Enjoy the product. If you don't want it, don't buy it. If you do a review and you don't like it, it's not your taste, it's freedom of speech. I don't care about that. But you start adding keywords in there, and my lawyers will contact you. I mean, you can't go anywhere. You can't get hide from us. You get that black letter that pops up in your mailbox, your life is over. Keep in mind, once we get 4 or 5 of these videos popping up, that means now we're going to ask for jail time because you committed fraud against our business. We can show the judge that you made repeated videos willfully. This is a willfully act, which means you willfully knew what you were doing, you had no evidence to back up your claim, and you've repeatedly made these demonstrations over and over and over again, which means we can get you time for that now. One video, I wouldn't care less to give you time. I'll sue you for it, but that's basically about it. But I wouldn't care about giving you time. That's only one video. Who cares? But 2 or 3, we have to do something. You can't have you doing that. It's nonsense at the end of the day. It's the same term of basically of loan sharks. Loan sharks, you borrow money from them, they can't let you get away with that. There would be things getting out there in the day like, oh, if anybody could take money from that loan shark, he doesn't basically break anyone's thumbs at the end of the day. They have to represent. Sad thing to say, but at the end of the day, but yeah, it's actually true. Debt collectors, all those guys, repo dudes, they have to take your car to give you that warning 4 or 5 times. Hey, look, you got to pay the bill. If you don't pay the bill, we're going to take your car. They can't let that slide. They're going to come over and take your car. Repercussions. Now, some people see these demonstrations, they love them, they're impressed by them. Thank you so much. We appreciate that behalf. But remember, you're going to have that other half. Just like any YouTuber who becomes a YouTuber, wants to get famous, or whatever they want to do at the end of the day, they're going to deal with trolls. They're going to deal with haters. It comes with the territory. But when you start doing stuff that basically breaks the law, that makes it outside of YouTube, this is where you're going to have a problem at. This is where they're going to come after you. And people think the dumbest thing you could possibly tell yourself, the dumbest thing ever, because I'm behind a computer and I'm using a fake account, no one will be to find me. Yeah, you keep thinking about that one. Go ahead. Entertain that thought in the digital world we live in right now. Go ahead, entertain it. You leave a carbon footprint everywhere you go. You keep on believing that nonsense at the end of the day. Some people are their worst enemies at the end of the day. They allow people to catch them. They're their worst enemies. They make the most sloppiest mistakes ever and always get caught. Every single time. Ooh, what the heck is this going on here? Oh, I like this. A lot of snow demonstrations on here. Why is it when we look for demonstrations, we can never find these? Oh, this will look fantastic in the invisible screen. Now we must time to show no mercy. Let's begin the crushing. Crushing? Starfield screensaver. If you're a gray screen, you make one of these. This is going to hurt a lot. But you guys make the dumbest claims. There's not just one person. I've been to other sites. I've been to professional high-grade sites that will sit there and lie and say that their paint can read 100% contrast. I'm like, no. Where are we talking about this? Are we talking in the dark? What are we talking about this? So how do you have an ambient light rejection screen if you have to use it in the dark to get the color and the contrast to work? How does that work? Because I see a lot of ambient light rejection screens in the dark. So how does that work? It doesn't. Whew, man, I feel sorry for the customer who has to deal with this mess. Let's go over here and let's get let's see over here. There's the LG contrast demonstrations. Let's see, 100% contrast. Oh, freak you don't. And the conversation before say, no, the freak you don't. That's my line. But the guy kept saying, no, but my screen pulls 100%. No, the freak you don't pull 100% contrast. Freaking make-believe lane you freaking coming from. Turn out all his lights and said, look, see, it's a contrast. Oh, no. You're not doing that. No, fully lit. Light the environment up. Can't have, well, which one is it? You got an ambient light rejection technology, or how's it work? Because they're saying they have ambient light rejection, and they're saying you can put in fully lit environments, but in order to show color and contrast, they have the lights out. Gee whiz Louise. Now we get people saying that then we do these demonstrations with all this lights in the environment. They're saying, but the environment's abnormal. It's not. What are you marketing your product for? If you're marketing your product for a commercial, this is what you're going to be in. Can't turn lights out in these environments. I've seen people in demonstrations already turning lights out in commercial environments. Can't do that. Lights must be on. You know, they kind of remind me of my cat. My cat will sit there and stare at you and think you can't see him. But for some reason, I guess he thinks he has some kind of cloaking device mechanism that triggers off. And I'm looking right at him. He's looking right back at me. And I'm like, hey, you know I can see you, right? You guys are kind of like that. You do these demonstrations where you darken environments and you do all these smoke and mirrors, and you think no one can't see that nonsense. You can see it. That's too partial. No, that didn't go well, did it? We just did partial. This one was like, nope. AK Desired Nature. Oh, I swear, one of these days I would love to see that go through right. And you talk about gaming. No, you can't game on a gray screen. Not going to happen. Can't game on gray screens. They don't pick up color correctly. They don't pick up contrast at all. We're sitting in this ultra dark environment trying to play Call of Duty. So look, we ready. We pick up. No, please stop doing that. Please stop doing it. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to everybody. Stop it. He's coming in like, what are you doing? Cut that crap out. So the transition, you see that? I show this all the time. In screens, how we can tell what color your screen is. So the minute your screen goes to this little transition, it changes over. See? That's what happens. It happens in every single video demonstration. There's virtually no way to get around these things. So for a split second, your screen goes back to the original form of what it was, and then the image pops back on. The transition. And I see this with screens that try to fake that they're black screens, but they'll be in ultra dark environments. You should never be in a dark environment with a black screen. They have extremely high gains attached to them, so I don't know why you would be in a dark environment to begin with something like that. Can absorb light like that. That's the first red flag that your stuff isn't working. In the transition, the screen's going to go back to its original form. It's going to show black. If it's gray, it's going to go to gray. If it's white, it's going to go to white, but you're still going to be able to see it. And you do that with slow-mo. Slow it down, you'll see it pop up. Now watch it trans back over. And they'll have you looking at this part right here. They won't point your direction here. They want you to look at this. Don't look at the background. They want you to keep your eyes on the color. Look how beautiful the colors are. Look how vivid they are. Because they keep your mind off of this. Because keep in mind, in this demonstration, you're supposed to read 100% black level as you're picking up color at the exact same time. Can't pick up one and then maybe the other. No, it doesn't work that way. The projector, what's the projector producing? The projector's producing a black background and red tomatoes. Your screen is supposed to see a black background and red tomatoes, not a gray background and red tomato. There you go. So your projector's not doing what it's supposed to do because it can't. You handicapped your machine. This is why they advise you to calibrate. Calibrate something that never needs to be calibrated to begin with. Because the screen is causing your projector to have to be calibrated, not the projector. People want to blame on the projector. Not the projector's fault. It's your screen's fault that's causing you to have to calibrate. The transition right there. Pushing through transition. Transition. aka desired nature. As you know, this demonstration was done in a super dark environment where the LED lights were pushed behind the back of the screen to give you the illusion that you were well lit, but you weren't. Very dark the entire time when the demonstration is being explained and being displayed. So I explained to you enough that gray screen is not an upgrade, it's just another downgrade. That's what it is. You still can't reach the black level. And then going to the color, look how much of the color you're picking up. You gotta reach the contrast. I can't express it enough. You gotta have contrast. Contrast, 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 contrast. It's in freaking everything you watch has contrast in it. You gotta pick up the black level. Buy an expensive projector, like the guy I had the conversation with, and we talked about his expensive JVC projector he spent his money for. Why the frick are you sitting in the dark with this thing? And I get the same excuse. Well, you know, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. 30 grand for a projector, you can't use that thing with the lights on? You kidding me? Now I got some people I talk to, a lot of customers I talk to, they understand the whole contrast effect. They know it already from there. The more money you spend for your projector in contrast, the more expensive it becomes. More technology is required. Oh, I'm going to spend my entire life talking about contrast. I swear there are days I wish I had Thanos' glove sometimes. I really do. Have a conversation with somebody and they don't understand. Just go, that's it, goodbye. And how do you not understand this? How do you have a projector? You're just going to skip everything in black off your screen. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to erase anything off black. You know, that's the main part of what you do. It's the detail and depth that's added to your picture quality. That's like drawing Marvel comics in all white. You have to have that black into it to give it more edge, to give it more body. You have to have that. Can you imagine if all Marvel comics came with white writing? You know how dull that would look at the end of the day? Yeah, there you go. You got to be able to cast shadows, add more depth to it. Again, this is what you're doing. 720p will work on your screen. They just don't work on gray screens at all, because the pixel resolution is low. 600 by 800 720p has a low resolution. So basically, on a gray and white screen, you're going to lose detail and depth to it because it can't read contrast. Where a screen that's actually 100% black will pick up far better, as we're doing right now. You gotta back it up, people. Glad when the day comes that I don't have to really talk about this anymore. I'm like, yeah, I had that conversation just about every freaking day for over 14 years. And what they did, they kept doing the same thing. They kept buying these high-end projectors and these freaking crappy screens The projectors are so far advanced, it's not even funny how advanced the projectors are. The screens haven't even caught up to the projector's performance. Because I keep putting them on gray and white screens. Diamond's the only one that freaking listened and made a black screen. The only one. They made a black screen. They understood the assignment. And so they got the assignment? Yeah. The rest, everybody else, they're still got great. You got dinosaur screens at the end of the day. You didn't get, oh, wow. Y'all better get on the ball with it, man. And if there's just sitting there saying, but the gray screen's keeping up. Again, I can't express it enough. My screen's black. So that screen can pick up a color level high enough to blend into a gray screen, but read an infinity black level that screen can't even see it, and then operate in fully environments the screen can't even function in. We're in partial lighting. And for those people sitting back saying, well, you know, he just wants people to buy his product and so on. I got people already buying my product. I got companies already interested in buying my product. I'm good. You want to get ripped off? Yeah, you get ripped off. It's your diamond day. It's not my problem at the end of the day. It's your problem. You go out and buy these cheap knockoff screens at the end of the day, even expensive ones, basically not going to give you what you want, but they're better than what I'm seeing here. But you keep buying cheap knockoff screens and it's your setup you don't have. And I know, because I do YouTube field trips. I go on YouTube and I look at other videos of other people's setups. And every single one of them sitting in this poor, dark environment. And what's in our environment right now, or next week, or the week after that, and the week after that, and the week after that. They're still telling you to be stuck in dark environments. You live in the cave ages now. You live in the cave ages right now. Let's take everything. Let's get rid of your house. Go buy yourself a cave. Put a fire in the middle of it. I don't believe in cavemen, by the way, but you know I'm getting that. And that's it. Change your vocabulary, grunts and raw. That's pretty much it. Or you got a nice setup in there. We got some real beautiful home theater setups in there. Get rid of all that. You're not worthy of that. Get rid of all. Let's throw it out in the trash or give it to your neighbor or whatever. And go out and just have a knockoff projector. It's like something called a Galaxy 247 or something weird. Because you're cheating your projector. You paid all that money, did all that research, just to end up with half a screen, if less. So my customers that are tired of getting ripped off, tired of getting these fake products, want a screen that they can operate in fully lit environments without washing out or fading, they contact us. See the lights on now? See? Mid lighting, and still can't read a contrast level. Mid lighting, that screen pink still can't read a contrast level. So I'm enjoying our technology. Got my new screen set up. I can't remember the last time that I had to worry about being in the dark. I can't remember that. I've always been in fully lit environments. And when I was with my ex, the first thing she said was she didn't want a big screen in the theater room, or not in there. She wanted a regular TV. She wanted to go and buy a regular TV. Because she didn't want to be in the dark. She likes to read in there and her books and stuff and little crocheting and stuff like that. She likes that area to be well lit. So I had to show her. Went and bought a 126-inch screen. Did a setup with the screen and it blew up. Now it became her screen. Now it was no longer my screen anymore. I had to build one in the other room because that was not my screen. She took it. Come in, she's watching soap operas on it. She's watching TV shows and Netflix and whatever. I said, you really like the screen? I freaking love it. So where's yours at? You make them. You should be good to go. Yeah, that's when I went downstairs, the gaming section up downstairs, and I made my own. Took over my screen. She was taking pictures of it, showing her friends and everything. Look at the screen my boyfriend put in. Look at this. Look, I can read books and everything. Look at that, because her friends had white projection screens and none of them showed up. She sent me a text like, can you fix this? Yeah, we get that fixed. We get that fixed. No problem. Where did the contrast go? Nobody know. Nobody know. Oh, let's go over to Let's go to AK. This not. No, no, that's wrong. We're in the wrong section on that one. Let's go with J and K 4K. Oh. They call me Cobra. Cobra Commander. Do 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 do. I swear, that's a jacked up song. That's a jacked up song. You never heard. You listen to Barry Manilow. Listen to that song, you won't forget that one as long as you live. That little song will stay in your head forever, man. It's a jacked up song. They're cutting the grass one day. I'm trying to find something that would play for a long time while I cut the grass, and that song popped up. And I was like, gee, we're in the middle of the cutting the grass. Like, this is depressing. It's a depressing story, man. It's so messed up. So messed up. He must have witnessed something like that, because there's no way in the world anyone could be that on point with something like that. He didn't make that up the top of his head. That probably happened. And probably when he was singing or doing a show or something popped up. I don't know, that's crazy. That's crazy. Nobody wanted. That's, you know, everybody, man, just. You ever heard it? That song, that's an interesting song. So black screen can blend. Now you see certain areas where the gray screen's having difficulty picking up because there's that tannish look to the screen. And we can't read the black level. Don't fall. Objective song. I can't really listen to it all that much. Like the beat of it. And one day I just sat down and listened to the lyrics. I was like, gee, boy, this is dark. It's super dark. So, might as well, since my screen's already kicking butt anyway, just wanted to explain it, whether you like it or not. I'm just going to explain it anyway. Pretty interesting story. Basically, it starts off in the 1970s, and it is basically in a casino somewhere. I think it's meant to be Vegas. And there's a woman, a waitress, who's working. I probably told you this already. Honestly, I probably have. But there's a woman waitress, and she's in love with the bartender. They're actually a couple at the end of the day. And there's a guy who comes in there. He's a bit of a troublemaker. He's a big, let's just say, person that has lots of connections, and put it that way. And he flirts with her all the time. But this time he went too far. He touched her, and a fight broke out. And he threw a chair. Chairs were flying back and forth, and a gunshot went off, and he was killed. The bartender was killed. And long story short, mobster went to jail, and whatever stuff he had on top of that, he spent the rest of his life in prison, where he died of old age, and of course he died in prison. He expired. And the bar was closed down, the whole thing shut down. It's just an old dive now. No one ever know what happened. And just years passed by, and she is still wearing the same dress, covered in her boyfriend's blood, and she is drinking herself to death. And he's dead. That's jacked up. That's some jacked up stuff. I was in the backyard mowing the lawn. I've never really listened to the song, because I kind of like the beat with it. It has a nice beat to it, like a show kind of 70s beat to it. I was like, gee, I messed my whole day. I was depressed the whole day. I had to pray that one out. I was like, that is really, really messed up. Gee, gotta be. I was like, Barry, is that dark? Barry's dark. People think Barry Manilow's a joke. No, Barry is dark. That was the most craziest thing I ever heard of. Yeah, I wouldn't advise you. I mean, it's up to you if you want to do it, but it's pretty messed up. And he goes into detail. Oh, he goes into great detail about basically the damage and destruction that all this caused. So that guy literally, the man of influence and of power, caused all that damage because he crossed the line. He ends up in jail for the rest of his life, and he dies in prison. It explains how he died of old age. He spent the rest of his life in prison. I guess they're waiting until they're looking at me either way, and didn't say what happened to the owner. That's what I didn't say. Never said what happened to the owner of the bar. But I know the bar did shut down and went out of business, so God knows what happened to him. But I guess we'll think about that. And she couldn't handle his death, and she was still wearing the same outfit. The same blood stain. And she was just drinking herself to death. The one little incident. That's why I don't be in environments like that. I wouldn't work in an environment like that. Really. That's just each his own, but that's crazy. My question is, where the bodyguards at? Because all hotels have massive security in case something pops up. They all have it. So I mean, if security was there, that basically wouldn't have gone down the way it did. But that was just crazy. I know it's just a song. Because it was just a song. Yeah, I kind of analyze a lot of stuff. So that's what I do. I break things down and analyze it. Make it move. And my friend goes, make it make sense. Make it make sense. I love that line. Make it make sense. Oh. What are you? I've never seen this one before. Oh, look at the black clothes. I swear it's like sometimes some of these places can read my mind. Because I'm like, I need more contrast. We need more contrast. We need to see more black clothes. We need more contrast. Where's the contrast? Where is the contrast? And if every once in a while they bring up one of these videos that has a super dark environment, dark contrast. See how fast that screen just changed? There you go. It can't read contrast. Darker the environment, the better survival rate of a gray screen. All in all, at the end of the day, you will be in the dark. So that color you see, that orange you look to the screen, that's what pulls up when gray screens can't read. White screens just come up pale. They don't read at all, period. It's funny because when we're offline doing business, we never bring a gray screen out ever. Only bring up white screen, that's it. Online, you can bring up a gray screen. If a budget gray screen was so popular, how come offline there's more white screen than dark gray? And even online, there's still more white screens than there's gray. If somebody has the money, they can buy a gray screen. They can buy a gun metal. And somebody doesn't have the money, and they're going to go buy a gray screen. The budget screen. So another problem, trying to bring up that contrast and color. Ooh, let's go play right here. Skyworth glue demonstration. Now, let's aim for the gray screen. That technology there, you can't turn it dark, as you can see. No matter what we do, we can't turn it dark. So your white levels don't surpass it, as you can see. It can read 100% contrast, you can't. It can blend into your white levels. Again, not helping you at all in any way whatsoever. That can operate in fully lit environments, you can't. That can go outside, you can't. That works with projector mapping applications. You don't. I know. I tested it myself. Anybody in the field projector mapping will tell you from the door that gray and white screens don't work well with that technology. The dedicated theater room, you don't work in there either. The screens splash too much white light all over the place. On top of that, if you're going to do the infinity ceiling, you can't do that because infinity ceilings are black. You're definitely not doing any floor projection technology. That's not going to work because, mind you, the floor takes in more light than the walls and the ceiling because the light's pushing down at the floor, so that's going to cancel you quick. You can't challenge high-grade certified screens. You don't compete with them well. The screens can generate really high white levels. They pick up definitely a darker shade of gray. You can't compete with that. What do we have left? You don't work on picos. We tried it already. You don't work on venues. Tried that one too. You definitely don't work on ultra short throws. Don't work either. Now for those who are sitting there saying, but it works on those projectors. It does. So let me get this straight. It works on those projectors, so that way, if it works on the projector, it means I'm going to get everything. I'm going to get the contrast, I'm going to get the color, I'm going to get it all, right? In a fully lit environment. I should be able to operate with no problem. I mean, don't cut it and say, oh, you can only be in the dark environment, and you really can't pick up contrast at the dark gray level, and it's not really ambient light rejection, because it can't absorb, then what did I buy? Either you have it or you don't. Every time I go into a form site, one of these screens, the first time I say it, dark colors, contrast levels, fully lit environments, show me. Like I said, if you make the statement, and you mix black paint in there, saying that our products came up that dark and watchable, you're in a great deal of trouble in the courtroom. These individuals don't understand. The mental stress alone will destroy you. This stress alone, just knowing you're going to be in front of a judge, will cause you to crumble. It's a lot of freaking stress. You are going to paint my screen up, and you're going to try to repeat the same demonstration you claim. And if you make a statement about cameras in there, we'll sue you some more money. We'll actually drop another lawsuit on top of you. So you better be to back it up, or they're going to strike it off as hearsay. Now once we bring up to 15% at 50%, gray screen is over. I'm literally thinking about building a screen, a legendary screen. It's just, I want to do it so bad because it'll be so much fun. We got guidelines we can't cross. I can literally wipe your product line right now. Right now, just go order your stuff. I can wipe your entire product line. So you know your screens can't function right. We know that from the door. Can't do it. Rules and regulations, you got to follow them by ourselves. These people never mention my name. They never say anything disrespectful about my company. If I were to go in and do that, that'd be bullying at the end of the day. It would be. We only do it to people. We only come after people at the end of the day. Crush your products if you basically talk trash about my product. I gotta defend my technology. I can't have you come and talk trash about my work. And then the lights come on, they run. They don't like when the lights come on. It's kind of like, it's funny, when we turn lights on, it's equivalent to roaches. I hate to call anybody a roach, but you know, you turn lights on, roaches run. They don't like them with these demonstrations with those lights on. They're like, oh my goodness. He's showing all the lights. He's showing absolute power. Then I say, when we start marketing this product, people are going to be crying about it. Then I say it already. Guy up in the apartment crying this. Oh, I forgot. Shoot. Dude, I forgot about that. We got to take care. I'll take care of it tomorrow. I got letters to send up. I got to talk to a few people over there. They start following. I'll get that done today. Yeah. Tie. That's off. Oh, sorry, buddy. Here. They say, well, we work with gaming. No, you don't. You can't run Pac-Man off you. Pac-Man's background is completely black. Defenders, Space Invaders, all of them, black backgrounds. You understand? My cat came out here shaking his ears. You know why? I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of talking about it. I get to the point I get tired of talking about something. That means we have to come get your stuff. Gray screens, man. I don't get it. I had to make this stuff back in the day. I know what your limitations are. I know. So make it. And when I saw Screen Innovation do to our stuff, much darker technology than what we have. At least I had enough common sense to walk in the right direction. We have technology for this today. And these guys, people are still making us product. Oh, you're going to tackle the big cat in the front of the screen. Hey, Taco. 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 They don't understand that the gray screen doesn't work. They don't understand that the white screen doesn't work. So, really, Taco. Because you got to flex. And flex we shall. There's no point talking about it anymore. What's the point? We're going to flex from now on. Have a demonstration? Flex. What other screens can't do. Flex. Kind of like Google. Anyone gets tired of it? Tell it to me. Okay, it's boring me now. I'm going to start flexing. Let's show some crazy demonstration. I'll slide. If you're tired of it, you challenge me. canceled receipts that popped out. I told you we got canceled receipts on this guy. Lots of them. That's nothing. It's nothing compared to what we got. We got a book on this guy. Canceled every single order. Lost every single PayPal complaint. All of them. He's never won one against her. He lost every single one of them. Even the one he filed against her, he lost those too. And why? The website, the video, I told you. PayPal will go through your stuff. PayPal will go through your websites, will go through all your customer, everything. Will go through all your stuff. It even goes through how much money you make for them. All that. So it shows that we have very little returns. If I had as many returns, then he would have a ton of videos to do on us on his returns. He gets a return once in a blue moon, he'll get one. And he'll go, oh my goodness, he got one return. Oh my goodness, he's such a scammer. What? One? Are you kidding me? Is there a track record at the end of the day? I can go 6 months without a return. How many returns we get? Everything's backed and protected. Yeah, stuff come back here, and we backed it up 100%. We have an excellent track record. So when PayPal goes to your account, they go back and see how many returns you had in a certain period of time. Nothing there. So when you contacted PayPal and you say we're scamming this and the other, you just put a strike against you that quick. If we were that, at the end of the day, we would have massive returns. We wouldn't be able to back any of this stuff up in any way whatsoever if we did anything what they said we would. It'd be virtually impossible. Get a 150-inch screen to push through a window? No, that would not be possible. So yeah. He's mad because he canceled. He canceled so much. I didn't even put the eBay either. A lot of eBay cancels on there. And if you scroll down the video, you see the letter he sent to us, email. I buy whatever I want. I bought whatever I wanted. And he cursed us out on every, I think he's bipolar, I really do. Cursed us out on every freaking receipt. You don't want to tell me to buy whatever I want. I mean, you don't tell me to buy what I want. For the first time, I like being a man, so you're going to insult me in the process and think I'm going to sit there and let that go? No, I bought what I want. Which I don't know why he canceled. Because we can show you videos, unboxing videos, showing us having this stuff, testing this stuff out. Outside, inside, and work for jack. The personal mix is horrible. You couldn't get that thing to run outside for jack. Matter of fact, I'll post it tomorrow. I'll post a personal mix. Outside, what they really do. He does people where he wants them to wait till it's like really dark outside to do the demonstration. We took him outside. Our screen was outside with him. He didn't pull nothing. We'll post it. The other one got cancellations on them too. Those two. This stuff doesn't work. I remember seeing people in this comment section about how amazing his paint was. How do y'all feel about that right now? You match that house paint, that attitude completely changed altogether. You match that bare silver screen, that changed altogether. How y'all feeling about that now? I like using the Tom and Jerry cartoons where they try to swallow something, they get stuck in their throat. And you gotta swallow really, really hard for it to go down. And when it go down, it makes this crash noise, like somebody dropped a bunch of dishes. It's like I said, it's like you swallowing a piece of humble pie besides that air cleaner and that fan at the same time. Can you imagine trying to swallow that? Now some of them was backing up. Oh, I forgot about that question. Was they backing up? Because yeah, you can be charged with that fraud nonsense. Anyway, some people were backing them because they were embarrassed. They're embarrassed they got ripped off. The other half just closed and deleted their accounts and just disappeared. Those are the ones we call victims because they bought the product in good faith, thinking it was going to work, and the guy lied a lot in his demonstrations, and they got ripped off. And then you got the other ones who basically knew the pot was trash and still backed it. You're the ones we laugh at. And then the other ones who supported that nonsense, knowing he was doing that nonsense and ripping people off, you know they are. Yeah. Good luck on that one. I sit there and say that I have enough cancer disease to build a book. I am not joking. Wow. This is good scenery. I don't like scenery. This is really good. You saw the same forest over and over again. I get boring. But to change the scenery, it's pretty nice. I think if you're watching scenery, best projector for that is 235.1. That widescreen, perfect.
Do you feel uncertain or confused about how AI will impact the workplace? I am calling for connection.
I can never understand what is the purpose of buying fur coats. Why would you need one? I mean, it ain't like you living back in, I don't know, 18th century. We just can't walk into a store and just buy a coat. You know? We have to have one for survival. There's a difference when you had a fur coat for survival at one point, and now just wearing it for fashion. Well, if you were out there, no electricity, no gas, no heat, nothing, you have to figure out a way to survive out there. And still, you have to kill an animal over it. Go shopping, go buy yourself Antarctic winter gear. That's what you do. You can buy. We have money. We have the technology now. We have the inventions now to buy stuff to survive out in those areas. Much more advanced than people back then. We had less than we did. But interesting, the people had less than we did are better survivors than we are because we're used to the technology. That's why I like the bushcrafters who don't use power tools. These are all tools done by hand. That's an amazing skill. It is. It's a skill that's died because man has gotten modernized with technology. It's going to have salt. We used to have that instinct a long time ago. You can to survive out there. It's all gone now. It's all your senses. The ability to survive by technology. Technology is good in some ways, but it's bad in others. I bet you when that Y2K was going to pop up, everybody didn't have no survival skills, was scared to death. And other people had survival skills, like, bring it on. I can't wait for them. I'm waiting to test it out. Yep. My family has bought a very expensive fur coat. What's the purpose of that thing? Is that necessary? You would have to kill an animal for that? Ain't like you can't buy a coat. You can get a coat anywhere you want. What's the purpose of that? It's a luxury gift. That's what it is. You kill an animal for luxury. What if it's the other way around? Would you like that? She felt uncomfortable. She unzipped the coat, put it in the car. Said, yeah, I'm gonna jack it up. I'll give you money for it. I got a problem with that. Take them out. I'm gonna jack your coat up. I don't see the purpose of that. Why do you need to buy a fur coat? There was a point, one time you did fur for survival. You don't really need to do fur now. There's other people who live in areas that are not like ours. They live in those primitive areas. They have to have that fur coat. Like Eskimos have to have that. It's survival. But not out here, you don't. You gotta take out. And you walk around with some a dead animal around your body. That's supposed to make you look, you know, well, classy. I think people who wear animals just for show like that, that'll drop you out in the Amazon with headhunters. No, you're not even not part of the food chain. You are part of the food chain. They do things differently out there. And why do you need to wear that? And I looked at her, why are you wearing a dead animal fur? I said, can you put that in the trunk of your car, please? She put it in the trunk of her car, locked it up. Yeah. I don't see the purpose of that. People say, well, you know, people should be the bodybuilder. I understand all that. But there's some things that you don't really need to have. And a fur coat of a dead animal, especially if you're wearing baby seals, you're getting jacked up. I'm sorry. You're getting jacked up. You mean to tell me you wearing a jacket where they slaughter? You know how they kill baby seals for their fur? They club them to death. They don't shoot them because of risk of damaging the fur. They beat them to death with clubs. If you want to go around, you got a jacket, and you say, oh, it's baby seals, you're going to get jacked up at the end of the day. Someone's going to mess you up. It's coming. Chances are they're probably going to do the same thing you did to sit up and beat you at a club. They're ironing in that, right? People are passionate at the end of the day. I think that's inhumane. They should have some kind of law. Did you have laws you can't touch baby seals? But folks here still do it. They still do it at the end of the day. How greedy can you be to beat an animal to death for its fur, for money? I got a fitting punishment, stripped and naked, throw them in the bayou. You know what goes on in the bayou, right? All kinds of crazy stuff happens in the bayou. Alligators, all kinds of stuff in there waiting for you. Now you become food. You don't get no special weapons, use your bare hands. You don't live wrong. I think it's wrong, you shouldn't. Because at the end of the day you eat meat. I do eat meat. I do. I do both. I'm vegetarian. Not vegetarian, but I do like vegetarian foods. I love vegetarian foods. I am considering switching over fully and just eating plant-based because I've had it. When I had the lung disease, I couldn't have any meat. Certain things that I have would build mucus up in my chest, make it hard for me to breathe. So for about 3 years, I switched out to all plant-based foods, everything. And it was much better. It was much, much, much better. I say it's a big difference from when I was coming up and we had vegetarian food. It was disgusting on so many levels. But now today, you really can't tell the difference between the cheese or the meat. You can't tell. I really can't tell the difference between either one. And I'm carnivorous. We eat meat. We meat eaters over here. Can't tell the difference. Just gotta find those supermarkets to have that food. The milk is good. I love the milk. To this day, I still drink the milk. I put a little vanilla in it. You can't tell the difference. Look at the size of these guys at the end of the day. And I pet that dog. Go ahead and pet that dog, get jacked up. Anyway, see, this is beautiful scenery. This is the scenery I like. And it's a fairy tale world right there, right there. So it's a fairy tale world. But yeah, I don't eat it for subconsciously because about animals and all that. And the animals are prettier for us to eat at the end of the day. That's what I definitely is in the Bible. But fur and all that, I mean, come on now, like you really do need a fur. At the night, we need food to eat at the day. But you really do need a fur for what? You got so many different options now to keep yourself warm. And back then, they didn't have any options. That was the only option, was to keep yourself warm by animal fur. Not today. We got so many different versions of jackets and clothes and hoodies. Like, you even got hunting gear that got freaking... I remember the hunting gear when we had it coming up, had the D batteries in it. And the D batteries you put on your socks to keep your feet warm, had little heat coils in them. I remember them. Now they got these little tiny rechargeable lithium batteries in them now. You ever seen the hunting clothes? You guys work on the dock at the end of the day, go down and get yourself some hunting gear. I guarantee you'll be toasty all freaking day. Because, man, that's what I did. I worked on the dock. I got hunting gear. Hunting gear, man, they got the coils and the long johns and all that stuff. Excuse me. You keep your body nice and warm. Man, but still we all that technology now. Somebody's still wearing it. That is, wonder where that is. That is freaking the most coolest thing I have ever seen. That is cool. Like something out of freaking Lord of the Rings. I know that ain't a city right out there in the middle of nowhere. That would be insane. Imagine back then you didn't have any form of transportation but horse. And if you had to travel to another city to bring word of war, how far you had to travel? Especially if you're going through enemy lines and all that crazy stuff. I had a buddy of mine, he was big into the whole Lord of the Rings thing. He believed that all those little creatures and stuff existed. They're just sleeping in Middle Earth, somewhere in the middle of the earth. Somewhere until the time comes, I'm like, okay, buddy, you got way too much Lord of the Rings. That's so beautiful, man. Man, you look at those, I see right here. This is perfect living. It is. Some people think that's perfect living, but it's not. That right there is perfect living. No neighbors. Out in the middle of nowhere. Got this big ocean right here, swimming, fishing, all that, man. It's a beautiful life source right here. This is actually living right here. No congestion, no pollution, nothing. I bet you people here are much more calm and much more relaxed. There's no stress out there. That's stress. Way too many boats. I didn't jack up the ecosystem on that. Oh, look at that right there. Some beautiful scenery. This reminds me of Minecraft. You know, in Minecraft, you're hunting around for some place to build a new place at, and you see this mountain, this giant mountain, like, I'm going to build a house in the mountain. How many people have done that one before? Now you got this luxury home in the mountain with the glass. You got the waterfall cascading over the side of the glass. I love Minecraft, man. Another person would teach me how to build cities under the ocean, and you would use the sponges to soak up all the water. And break down all the sponges, and you have this hollow area under the water. I think if they're going to do another Minecraft, put a lot of wildlife into it. Like, the ocean didn't have a lot of wildlife. But put a lot of wildlife in there. You know, once in a while, I guess you can see an octopus or here and there. But I mean, put fish, a lot of fish, and bring it more light, and bring other people into it. Because Minecraft, the one that drove me nuts, where you had that vast amount of land, it was just you, and because you're playing with a friend and they log in. But then again, you had other people can log in all together, but yeah. Kind of cool if you had a bunch of other AIs in there. It'd be pretty cool. Minecraft actually got me over my anxiety problems. Good. I used to have anxiety issues. Panic attacks. That's panic attacks. My Minecraft, Lord had me play Minecraft. With a panic attack, your mind's racing at 100 miles an hour. You think you're dying today. You really feel like you're having a heart attack or dying, or anxiety is triggering off. But Minecraft, the reason why I played it so much is because by the time I got done building brick after brick after brick, it's the same repeated process. Again, I forgot. Really forgot. The Lord directed me to start playing Minecraft when I basically started having panic attacks, and that's how I was able to defeat them. Prayer and game. So somebody tells me at the end of the day, Jamie, it's not worth your time. Yeah, bite me. What are you? Oh, that had turned into something crazy looking. What are you? Bam. Oh, I gotta change my whatchamacallit now. Step up. Underground Mecca. This is one we have in here. Our pictures. Can I see the text from here? Yeah, crystal clear. I'm on the other level. Power. Let me see. I like that one. No, we're in it. Why are we in this one? Should definitely have done with that. Let's see. That's the Pac-Man. We got also on the other machine. We got the other Cyberpunk on that one. Let's see. Cyberpunk wallpaper. Yeah, I'm keeping that. I like this. Bam. I like the Cyberpunk wallpaper. Yeah. We're already open. Oh, did that game come out yet? Oh, y'all got to come on with this, darn it. Sheesh. When is this game coming out? Dang, is this game yet? Wow. Let me see, we're supposed to have this made in 19. Oh, we're not there yet. Alright, cool, I'm getting this. I love these retro arcade games. I'm definitely getting this sucker. Kind of reminds me of Neo Geo. Man, I keep it far away. I wish you can get it now. It's a pre-order now. I want this game so bad. I've been waiting since last year to get my hands on this. Yeah. Yes, I can't wait. I'm getting that wallpaper too. Definitely getting this wallpaper. Available May the 19th. Come on, man. Bring it. Bring it. I can't wait to get this game. Can we buy now? Can we buy now? We get that dollar. We put that dollar. Let me see what we got going there. Single player. Yep. Runs an Xbox controller. All that good stuff. That's nothing. That's easy. Alright, definitely getting this sucker, man. Alright, what else we got on here? Getting that one in the 19. I wish we can get it now. I want to get it now. What's this one? Uh-oh. Psychotic shooters. Hooah! thing for $10. I'm gonna get it. Thanks to remind me the era of Genesis. It reminds me of when I had my Genesis. I got games like this galore. Space Shooter. Yep. Nintendo had a lot of them too. Nintendo had a ton of these games. All right. That's on my list. I got it already. I'm picking it up. They're good. I'm gonna pick that sucker up. I'll wait till I get off the line and do it. Off of YouTube. But definitely, I got it for $10. I'm definitely gonna grab that. What do we have here? Metal Ghost. That's the Mac game, right? I'm not ready for that yet. Oh, Saboteur, it's like $5. We gotta get the Saboteur. That's a good game. I told you it's a game. People slept on that game. That's a really good game. I'm gonna go pick you up Saboteur. I got that on freaking on PlayStation. I bought that Mr. X. I should buy games for my PlayStation. That game's not out yet. I Am Hero. Oh yeah, I haven't done that yet. That's not even out yet. Space Invaders got that one already. Oh, Gallagher. Gotta get some Gallagher. Metal Slug Reloaded. Been there and done it already. Crab Fight. That's free? I still don't understand. I'll get around to that later on. 8-bit games. Blah, 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 blah. Space Shooter 24. How much for this thing? Oh, I forgot. This is like... Oh, that's 99 cents? I dropped the 99 cents. Oh, Crime Boss. Oh, yeah. We had 30-50 to run that. Oh, no biggie. 30-50s are cheap. I should just get 30-50 now. Be done with it. Be done with it. That's $19. That's actually a pretty good game. Oh, yeah. This is the World War Z Casino. I saw it on here. I was like, wait a minute. You got World War Z Casino here? They want to charge $29 for it, but I don't need to charge $29 because I already have the game on my console system. So I downloaded it on it for console system. That's actually really good. Alright, people. I think I'm done here right now. I am going to shut my machine off. I'm happy with the Halo systems working quite nicely. Having a fun time with my technology. We're blessed to have. Of course, probably ruffle the feathers of the naysayers that are probably bitter and upset. Gee whiz, they've been upset on everything, man. You didn't do half the dumb stuff you did on camera. I wouldn't have stuff to expose you on right now. We wouldn't even have any of that stuff. You weren't doing the dumb stuff you weren't doing. You're mad at me because they got exposed. Well, you do dumb stuff. You know what I mean? I don't do the same thing you do. Why would I do that? You can have stuff to expose on me doing dumb stuff? No, heck no. You just go in and document all the dumb stuff you do, and then later on, like I said, we use it against you in court because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what common sense people do. You know what I mean? You don't basically involve yourself in the activity of the criminal act. Now you both going to jail for something stupid. No, you sit there and just record everything. Okay. All right, you have your fun at the end of the day. I'll see you in court. And that's where we at now. He got mad because I posted that video of him going into Home Depot. Guess what? It's you, ain't it? There it is, right there. It's you on there. Asking for some bedazzle, whatever stuff you're asking for. You're getting sued for all that nonsense you did. That's a picture we're going to paint to the judge. We have problems with this guy going in. And mind you, you're undocumented, man. And doing that dumb nonsense. You should know better than that. You tell he didn't do nothing with his time when he got over here for getting in trouble. You can paint that picture right there for the judge. You did, yeah. You're coming to our company touching our copyrighted materials and doing that nonsense. Trying to make our products and stuff. Bootleg, copyright our products. Yeah, not copyright, but bootleg our product. Copyright violation. Because you had that container that had a logo sitting on it, that had a copyright sitting on it. the same copyright that you repeated multiple times, used without permission, and that's the same processor that comes out your door to straighten out that nonsense. So we can show the judge that you had no respect for no one's stuff. You literally walked into a Home Depot with our container of paint with our label on it, trying to basically go in and make our products on camera while recording the whole thing. Talk about self-snitching on a whole other level. Jeez Louise. I showed it to a few people that they were like, "Chah, common sense." Think you're gonna get the get out of jail free card. Is this thing off yet? I'm gonna take this off. I think I'm gonna switch over to the portables. I feel like working with portables right now. Tell me about it. Yeah, I'm about to switch over to portables, invisible technology right now. I'm tired of working with these right now. I've been working with these for the last couple of days. I'm about to put this thing up on top of the shelf. And I'm done, but I'm also working with my invisible technology for a little bit. But this screen is already built. I'm tearing this thing off. Ain't that right, Taco? Work with that for a while. Working with my invisible technology and my front splatter screen. Done. Trash stuff over. You got your toys all over. You get comfortable with stuff like that, man. You get comfortable. What do we got for shoes up on here? I gotta get this guy's order ready. There we go. I got my business license. I am happy about that. Well, they changed some rules. They changed a lot of rules. So, secondly, by the saying it's cooling down, and if you got an eBay, you have the license. You have to have them now. And if you got an eBay account, I don't care if it's online. You're in the state, whatever state you're in, requires you to have that license now. So, just get it done. At one point, because you're a web-based business, you weren't included in that due to the fact you didn't have brick and mortar. It's not that anymore now. I told you after a while, they're going to start cashing on this online thing. Right now, online got a lot of freedom to run stores, but you're going to see the same rules and regulations that they have basically for offline brick and mortar, creep it up online, because it's potential money they can make. But the license is easy to do. The license is basically $35. Maybe $35. It was $35 in Pennsylvania, or it might be in your state the other day. But you gotta have them. EIN number and a DBA. You need them. If you don't know what that is, educate you and find out. Because you should, because you got your own company at the end of the day. If you're trying to build your own company, you can't rely on other people. At the end of the day, you gotta learn that stuff yourself. Especially if you're doing accounting. I would learn that. That's a field I would get to learn some of it, at least. Because you gotta learn to speak that language. Gotta speak that language. What you was doing? Nope. Neck on that one. She's heating up. She be up. Yep, and the license there. Read that document? Sheesh. Document's interesting. It's a very interesting document. You got trucks, all that stuff you need to know. If you got signs on your trucks, you need to know. And if you gotta know what your fire, if you have a building, what your fire exits, fire access, all that, you gotta have all that stuff checked out, especially if you got brick and mortar. But if you got a website, they kind of take all that off because you're not gonna need that at all, period. If you're selling under somebody else, like you're selling through their marketplace or whatever they're selling through, or maybe their blah 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 blah. The gallery or whatever they're going to have to sell your stuff at, that's for them. They have to make sure they have all that for you. Other than that, yeah, and you have to have insurance. You definitely need insurance. I already got an insurance policy with my company already. You're going to have insurance. The LLC is not going to cut you to actually have insurance. If it happens, something goes wrong, you got to pay for stuff at the end of the day. You should definitely have insurance. And you know all that stuff. All that done. Like I said, what mine came up was basically about the type overusing chemicals, what type of chemicals, are the chemicals being stored at the facility, if they are being stored at the facility, how much is in there, all kinds of stuff, everything. You got to have all that stuff. Enjoy tackle? We should be disconnected now. Really? It'll bounce back in there. Let's check it out. small splatter screen. That's it. Just one little roll, and that's it. Automatic activation. We got a limited clear projector. Okay, I'm done with all this. You gotta move into something else. No, at a standstill point. Standpoint means I gotta find something else to entertain myself right now. I don't work on something new. I'm doing all the tests I could possibly do in this stuff. You gotta expand out even farther now. I need something else. Invisible technology I like is more challenging for me to work with. I'm gonna start working on that. Start pushing more into these invisible technology screens because this stuff does everything we need to do. It only takes just drying time's rapid. Activation time is rapid. It's really easy to do. Anybody can literally paint that screen, which is not hard for anybody to do. It takes out, certifies it, ultra sure they're compatible, operates. It does it all. We're good now. Look at the Ampere conditions. That 300 lumen projector using at $40. And you have that much. When you're doing white screen demonstrations, you have to show that you are getting this incredible picture. That the screen itself will not function without that form of technology. You figure something out like that, you're a very rich person. Can't back it up with fake tests, can't back it with fake demonstrations. You can't do any of that stuff because it's going to come out. One way or another, it's going to pop up. I'm going to start working on my whatchamacallit. I need to make this a portable unit so I can take that about with me and show off what the screens can do. Alright people, hope you enjoyed. I gotta go. Thank you for your time. Thank you, and I gotta go. God bless. I'm tired, man. I got so much time to 3 minutes.